Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Your St. Louis
BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan. And this is your Monday post-Super Bowl edition of the BlueNote Fan Report. The Blues are off today, but tomorrow they will be taking on the Florida Panthers, who, as we speak, are tied with the Minnesota Wild, 0-0, at the very beginning of the second period. So we're going to get them on back-to-back nights. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. We don't get the Devils on back-to-back nights. They play same time we do on Tuesday. They have Wednesday off, and then they play us on Thursday. Avalanche, same way. We'll play the Avalanche Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, your time, 1 p.m. in St. Louis, and it will be a 10 a.m. game. Ivan Barbashev, you know what, man? I really, really don't know. I really, really don't know, bud. My guess is he's gone. That's my guess, bud. So apparently one of the guys we should have got for Vladdy once, yeah, I seen that. They want to get rid of him, yet we didn't take him. What the F was that? Right? What is one of the greatest rock albums of all time? I want to put this out there. I want to see if anybody can get it, all four of you that are watching. What is one of the greatest rock albums of all times? And it's the theme of today's show. See if anybody gets it. I know someone's got to be smart enough to get this. Right? One of the greatest rock albums of all time. Come on, who's smart enough to figure this out? Who is? Somebody is. Somebody's got to be smart enough to figure this out. What is one of the greatest rock albums of all times that could be the theme of today's show? Nope, not that one. Nope. Nope. Someone's going to get it. Come on. Where is everybody tonight? Where is everybody? John Hefter, Justin Mullins, Brad Pond. You put them in the air. Thank you so much. No Ryan Green today. Go and Roses. Guns N' Roses? No, not Guns N' Roses. This is probably considered one of the top 10 rock albums of all time. All time. And the title of it is the theme of today's show. So we're looking for a top 10 album of all time. And the theme of it is today's show. Somebody's got to get it. We jumped up to 7, 8. Keep it going. We were in the 20s last game. High 20s. I was impressed. Not low 20s. We were in the 23 range. Someone said I almost had as many viewers as we had. The Blues had wins. I was close. I was close. Almost had more viewers than the Blues had wins. I would love to have that. 2,000 viewers, and for over the 2,000 wins, I'll take that any day. Right? Come on, where is everybody? Come on. One of the greatest rock albums of all time is the theme for today's shows. Ryan Green gets it. Ryan Green pays attention. I don't know why, but he does. And it is Rumours. Hold on a sec. I got to do something here. Give me a second. I got to connect my Bluetooth up so you don't hear the game. Otherwise, so what happened on Saturday, or was it the game on game day? I had played that Frozen thing, and it got it absolutely got tagged. It got tagged. Now here's the thing. Oh, this is the real. Is this the real McDavid MVP, or is this Green? I don't know. The real McDavid doesn't show up unless it's playoff time. He told me that, so I'm guessing this is Ryan Green. I also told Ryan if he keeps up this crap with changing names, he's going to get banned. And I got to be careful with that, right? I got to make sure that I'm paying attention, and with Facebook, it's harder to do it. With YouTube, guys, people can be completely anonymous with YouTube. And for me now, with what's happened, I will never allow that again. Right? I will if I don't know who you are, if I don't see your face, I won't let the only person that I'll let come on the show without showing their face is Lance. Right? That's it. I know Lance. Right? But other than that, you need to make sure I know who you are. Otherwise, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I don't need that frustration. But and here's one thing that got put out. So I put my stuff out in a group, and this one guy makes a comment. You're one of the reasons why they shouldn't just let anybody have a YouTube channel. And I kind of got into it with him a little bit. And then I finally said, you know what? If you want to argue with me, come on my show. Come on my show. And he did. Saturday, and I'm not going to say who he is yet, but one of the guys from the groups is going to come on and debate me. He's one of those that think that this is a good trade. We had to have him, and I don't. I still don't. And not only that, the very first comment of the day, Shockey puts up, one of the guys that everybody thought we were going to get, that we didn't get, wants out of New York. Want him out of New York. So if they want the guy out of New York, why didn't he get added into the trade? Right? Oh wow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one that far back. I've had other ones. So no, you didn't miss anything, bud. You didn't miss anything. Right? We're still early. So talking about rumors. So the big rumors right now, there's four big rumors. And we'll talk about the biggest one first, and that's Ryan O'Reilly. Right? The biggest rumor is Ryan O'Reilly to Toronto. I do not see that happening. I see O'Reilly re-signing. Could the Blues trade him and then re-sign him? Possible. However, the league really frowns upon that. Right? In fact, the league, they've tried to make a rule against it. They tried to make it the Kachuk rule. Because I think he did it, if not once, twice with the Blues. I just don't think. I don't think that they're going to trade him. I think that he's going to sign. He wants to stay in St. Louis. I think he's going to stay in St. Louis. Remember, most of these guys we're talking about already have a cup. They have the cup. It's not like they're chasing one. They got one. That's something to remember. These guys have a cup. Now, that's O'Reilly. Next one is not as big. The next two aren't as big, but they're more likely than the last one. The second one I want to talk about is Barbashev. Barbashev makes $2.5 million and is probably going to get somewhat of a raise. I don't think that they were going to re-sign Barbashev. I think that they looked at using that money elsewhere, that you could bring somebody up and get the same production for Barbashev for cheaper, right? And I think that you're going to trade him away for picks, a second-round pick, a third-round pick, something like that. Maybe package him for a first-round pick. But I just don't. At the moment, I don't see Barbashev staying with the team. I really don't. Right? And this team is written off this season, which sucks because there's no way it should have been this bad. But they have written off this season. Bob Morton, I'm glad you're here. After I'm done talking about this, I want to talk about something that you love. We'll talk about it. I thought about it over the weekend, and I thought seriously about it. So we'll get there. Let me say a big thank you to Jason Nichols, John Hefner, Justin Mullins, and Brad Pond. They put that thumb in the air, and I absolutely love it. You know, I can see that too, but you look at the comments that Armstrong said about O'Reilly, just makes me think he's not going anywhere. Right? And here's the bet. No, I don't even want to get to it. I don't even get to it. I don't want to go there. I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to go there. I promised myself I wasn't going to go there today. Right? I'm just not. We're going to talk about the stuff that's in front of us and not the stuff behind us. Right? That's it. Barbashev is probably going to get traded. You're probably going to get a second-round pick out of him. Right? I can see low second, high third, low second. Right? That's what I see. Oh, okay, and I'm just telling you what I think, bud. That's all. Right? Now, the third person in that rumors group is Noel Acari. Noel Acari's on a one-year deal. Noel Acari has made himself some money. And more than likely, he's going to go to a contender. Now, he is the only one of these that is chasing a ring. That I could see happening. He's chasing a ring. He's cheap. You might get a fourth or a fifth round pick for him. Right? Maybe you get some money for him. I don't know. But I can see him going. I can ring. That's why he came here, chasing a ring with a team that should have been a ring chaser that collapsed for whatever reason. Now, the last one, how did my kid was play so-and-so kid? Ryan is willing to take a pay cut, but an extra year. I could see that. I could see that. I could absolutely see that. I could see that. I could see that. But I can't see him getting more than 5. You certainly don't want to sign him for 6. At least that's how I feel about it. Now, the fourth guy of this group is the one that will make everybody happy. Now, I have seen the stuff that's out there about him. The first thing that I said is that's not a reputable source. Right? That's not a reputable source. And that was one of the things that caught me. Is that the site that put it out. Now they did state somebody else, but I couldn't find where that person said that. Right? And I don't remember who the person was, but I know I was looking for it yesterday, and I couldn't find it. Who am I talking about, Rob? Who am I talking about? Let's see if he knows who I'm talking about. Let's see. I'm waiting. I give him. Yeah, I'm telling him he's on a 10-second delay, 15-second delay. You guys all are. So, and that's right, Parayko. There's been reports that several teams have reached out to the Blues about Parayko. I seen that meme or whatever you want to call it, the report, and the first thing I thought of was not reputable, right? And the second thing, let's say it is true. Let's say it is true. Here's the issue with this. Hey, Wendy, how you doing, bud? The issue with this is Parayko is on a bad contract. If a team starts to go after Parayko with a bad contract, they're going to want to give up a bad contract in return. So it becomes the lesser of two evils. You know, what other bad contract out there are we going to take on to give up our bad contract? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Trying to blow up that hot air balloon. I think that this is a big issue. Yes, Craig. Blaze is in the final year of his contract. And he's on a cheap one. He's only like at 1.3 mil. He's not. It's pretty cheap. I was looking at this the other day. And he's not getting a raise. Best thing Blaze can do is take a 1-year contract and bet on himself. What's funny is Pat Maroon did that. Pat Maroon absolutely did that. Won 3 cups, but still never got the big payday. Right? He got some money, but he didn't get the big payday he was hoping for. Right? My internet's acting stupid again, so we got to wait. Got a goal pay raise indeed. Yeah. Pat Maroon is a role guy that brings attitude to your team, and that's important. By the way, if you're watching me on Facebook, please put those thumbs in the air, the likes, the smiley faces, the hearts, the mean faces, the laughter. Guy, you're an idiot. Put them out there, man. We love them. Just like Craig Moss, Jason Nichols, John Hefner, Justin Mullen, and Brad Pond, and Kenny Goat. Kenny's been giving me some shit Facebook on some of these things, and I appreciate it, Kenny. I mean, at least you're willing to listen. I give it to, I'm okay if you're willing to listen. It's the ones that call me out and don't respond, right? That's possible. That is possible. That is possible. But you know what? Them role players matter. They matter. He mattered for the Blues, and he's mattered for Tampa Bay. He mattered against Dallas. He mattered against Montreal. No matter how much he mattered, Colorado was going to win that cup. Oh, okay. Actually, Kenny, you're the wrong person. I was thinking of somebody else, Kenny, not you. I apologize, Kenny. I apologize. Aussie. Wait. Right? There we go. Where are we at? When it comes down to Parayko, my biggest concern with Parayko is the bad contract you're going to get back in return. Or how much of that contract you got to eat. Right? And I don't want to eat any of that contract because that hurts. That just plain hurts. Now, Tarasenko didn't hurt as much. right? You got to remember, his cap hit was 7.5, right? And we retained half of that. So here's the thing. Hockey players get paid for by the game, right? And he actually, if the Blues had played less games, he could play more than 82 games and not get paid for 1 or 2 games, right? It's too much. He's got 7 years, 6 years, something like that. It's too much for us to eat any of it, right? Way too much. I'd rather have him than have to eat it, to be honest, because I think you're hurting. Hey, Anthony, how you doing, my friend? I think when you eat that much, especially for as long as you've got to eat it, you're handcuffing yourself, right? And the only time I want to handcuff myself is in bed. And I'll leave that one there. Leave that one there. Brady Tkachuk, or not Brady, Matty Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, and the Florida Panthers, his new team. The All-Star MVP is coming to town. Currently, they are tied at 1 with 10:42 to go in the second against our rivals, the Minnesota Wild. That helps us a little bit. David! Problem is, David, there are none that are there every game working up and down the ice. Nobody is. And that's an issue. Now, I wanted to bring this up. Bob, I was waiting for you. Actually, Bob, I want to know if you will come on with me now and debate this. Because I have thought about this long and hard. And I have an answer to a question you throw at me all the time. Right? You do not like that I put so much blame on Barbie. And I get that. And I had to really think about this. And my initial thought process was 70-20-10. That was my initial thought process. When I first started thinking about this, I put 70% of the blame on Barbie, 20% on the players, and 10% on Armstrong. But the more I thought about it, I kind of adjusted those numbers, right? And I think right now, if you ask me, where do you put the blame on what went wrong this season? Right? Where do you put the blame on what went wrong this season? And it's not one specific thing. It is a combination of things. It is a combination of coaching. It is a combination of poor play. It is a combination of organization. It is a combination. But how much does each one of those contribute to the blame? Now remember, I said my original number was 70-20-10. 70% Barbie, 20% players, and 10% Armstrong. Playing a bunch of guys that don't currently play for you. I'm not sure what you mean by that. He said he had a rough night. Sorry, bud. The Zamboni. Nice, bud. So here, I know one of the Zamboni drivers, by the way. He would have been on the show if it wouldn't have been for somebody who spread rumors about me and basically kept him from coming on the show. It's why I don't tell who's coming on the show anymore, because that person reaches out to him and tells him lies about me. But here nor there. Right? So, after thinking about it, this is where I lay blame for this season. Doug Armstrong gets 20% of the blame for me. I don't have an issue with the signings of Thomas and Kyrou when they did. However, what I wish they would have done is kept them secret. Right? Kept them secret and told the guys, look, we're not going to put this out. We're not going to put this out. We're going to kind of leave this hidden, and we'll wait till after the trade deadline to put this out. I think that might have been a smarter thing to do, right? But he didn't. The other thing is the Perron deal. Perron left you hung out to dry, and you didn't do anything about it, right? Then I go back and I look at the last couple of years, the guys that have left and what they've ended up leaving for and going, is there an issue here that you might have screwed up? Signing Barbie to a 3-year deal was a mistake. So I will put 20% of this on him. Now, that leaves 70% left, right? No, 80% left. 80% left. Sorry, let me get my math right. I put the other 30%, I put 30% on the players. I think that if there were jealousies over Kyrou and Thomas getting their contracts like they did when they did, I think if there are issues in the locker room that have snuck onto the ice, I think if there's issues with the coaches, there's other ways to handle it other than what you did. Right? And you know what, Dr. Detroit? The Blues organization is not going to do that. They are not going to do that. And you're talking about that. Well, I'll kind of get into this as I'm going along, right? If those players would have come to the ice and somehow put a bad boss behind them, and that's hard to do, and I admit that, it's really hard to do, and it doesn't matter if you're making minimum wage or $10 million. When you have a bad boss, it is hard to come to work every morning. Period. End of story. Especially when you have a boss that no matter what you do, they gripe on you. I'm of an opinion if you're in a rebuild mode, Barbie must go too. I just don't feel like great franchises have a lot of turnover at the coaching position. The Blues have had a lot of coaches the last 10 years. Not a true statement. They've had 3. The last 10 years, they've had 3. Hitchcock, Yo, Barbie. That's it. Hitchcock, Yo, Barbie. 3. I'm sure if you go back 10 years, that's probably down near the bottom of a number of coaches. What is Chicago had in the last 10? 4, 5? I still think it's 3. Craig, I think it did. I think that he might have been one of those voice of reasons, and he also might have been offensive enough that he kept the some of that. You know, he might have been that thing that he might have been the yin to the yang of Barbie. And then when you bring in McTavish, who's the yin to the yin, it becomes an issue. It's not losing Montgomery. It's not filling Montgomery's spot with the same type of coach. I think if you would have filled that spot with that type of coach, you wouldn't have had that issue. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to pull this up. Stand by. So this is 2022, right? Or 23. So you have to go back to 2013. And that would be Hitchcock. Hitchcock came in 2011, right? I don't remember when in 2011. You're looking at three coaches over the past, so from 11 to now is 12 years. 21, 22, 23. So, yeah, so you're looking at 12 years. Over 12 years, you've had three coaches. If you go back 13 years, you had four coaches. You got to go back 15 years to 2006, and you had five. That's not horrible turnover. So I'm just kind of looking at some things here, right? And really, when you look at this, I mean, you go back to 20 years to 19, what, 90, is it 93? 90, 93, 03, no. 2003, you go back to 2003, right? 20 years. In 20 years, the Blues have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coaches. And 2 of those coaches have been Jack Adams Award winners. I don't think that we've done that bad in the coaching era, right? I think of that, going back, the only coach here that I would go was an absolute mistake. Oh, let's go back. The coach is going back 20 years. We'll go back 20 years. We'll start 20 years ago was Joel Quenneville, who actually started in 97. So 2003, 2004 was his last season. Right? So he almost doesn't even make it there. Then you had Mike Kitchen, who coached for 131 games, was 38 wins, 70 losses, and 23 ties / overtime losses. They had a different way of counting things then, because he got in the middle. Andy Murray was there for 258 games, had 118, 102, and 38. Right? Make sure I got this right. Then you had Davis Payne, who had just a little over a year, 137 games, 67, 55, and 15. Right? Then you have Hitchcock, who was here for like 7 years, 6 years, something like that, 11, 6 years, 6, 7 years, 6, 7 seasons. And, he was 248, 124 and 41. Then you have Mike Yellow, who was here for a season and a half, almost 2 seasons, right? Season and a half, almost 2 seasons. 133 games, almost 2 seasons. He was 73, 49, and 11 for a 590 percentage. If you look at this, Berube's got the best win percentage, 629. Second is Quenneville at 598, but now that goes all the way back to 97. And remember, we're only going back 20 years, but I'm looking at his overall record, right? Next would be Hitchcock or Yo at 590. Oh, wait, I screwed up. Hitchcock at 650 first. Berube second, 629. Quenneville third at 598. Yo fourth at 590. Payne fifth at 544. Murray sixth at 531, and Kitchen last at 378. But you got to asterisk Kitchen because the Blues basically sold everybody because of the Lowry screwing the team over, right? That's how I see it now. Ray Bennett, wasn't he like a athletic trainer or something? No. I'm not sure who Ray Bennett is. I mean, I think I know, but I don't think that was as big of a loss. Since 04, when Q left, we've had 6. That's correct. I just talked about it. Lost their offensive coach. Yeah, okay. And it wasn't a full-on. I'd have to look that up. I know he was a full-on assistant. Or was he? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. How many has Detroit had in that time? And they've been bad most of that time. 3. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know. I think they've had more than that, haven't they? In general, I think that if you go back 20 years, or even just to when Berube left, or when Quenneville left, which was the 2003-2004 season. So 2000 Kitchen came in the middle of the 2003-2004 season, right? So from the 2003 to 2004 season, I don't have a quick way to look this up. So I wish I had a quick way to look this up, but I don't. You said Detroit. Let's go to Detroit. What I'm looking at isn't giving me it's more of a list. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. So here's. This is a little different here. So they've had. You're right. They've had. Actually, they've had 4. Because David Lewis came in from the 2002 to 2005 season, right? And you had Lewis, Babcock, Jeff Bishel, and Derek Lalonde. And this team's been bad. I mean, going back to 2015, right? I mean, I don't know when the last time they've been in the playoffs. But you look at Babcock, he had 10 solid years and won a cup. He had a 649 win percentage with them and a 545 in the playoffs. Right? Bashel only made the playoffs once. So from 2015 and now, they've made the playoffs once. I don't know what year they made that. They're not showing this. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. The Red Wings are a different organization. They had that long run in there. I don't know. I see where you're getting and I don't. Right? I see it and I don't. Because you're going back to 2005. Well, you're looking at what the Blues did there until they got to Hitchcock, you know? They were just trying to get rid of. They only made the playoffs from 2004 to 2011 once. Once. Right? And the 2004 or 2000. Yeah, so I don't know. It's I don't think that they've had that much destability. Penguins have had some turnover. Hell, they fired their coach that won him the cup. They fired the coach that won him a cup. Right? I just don't. I just think that the Blues have been a solid, more of a solid team. And you're talking about a really bad period there in Blues history where you had ownership issues also. Detroit has not had ownership issues. That's the difference. That's the difference with Detroit, right? You got to remember that the Blues went through a bad period of ownership issues, right? From the Lowrys to was it Chicketts that had it? And then I don't know if it was Chicketts and then somebody else before Stillman got it, or if it was Stillman that got it from Chicketts. But you had some really bad ownership periods there where Detroit hasn't had that issue. And I think that's a big difference there is the ownership. And I think that that's got a lot to do with it. I think that's got a lot to do with it. You know what? And then they turned around and won the cup with the coach that they hired. They won back-to-back cups after firing their coach. So, I don't know. I can go back and look at Pittsburgh. I think that they've had some turnover. I think they've had more turnover than you think. Let's see here. Well, here you go. So Pittsburgh has been in the league as long as we have, and they've had a total of 54 coaches. Right? St. Louis has had a total of 54 coaches. Who else? Philadelphia. The Flyers have had 59 coaches. Then you have the Kings. They came in with us, right? Where's Los Angeles? The Kings have had 58 coaches. And then the last one to come in with us was the Stars. Now the Minnesota North Stars had 28 coaches. And Dallas has had 31. So that's 59. So actually, of the teams that came in after the Blues, or when the Blues did, the Blues in Pittsburgh have the least amount of coaches. Right? And then there's some, where else was I looking at? The Florida Panthers, who are a lot of years younger than us, right? They've had 48 coaches. 48 coaches. Now, they're a lot younger than us. The Oilers, who are younger than us, had 55 coaches. Let's see here. Calgary Flames, younger than us. 51 coaches. Sabres, a few years younger than us, 60 coaches. So in all actuality, the Devils, who are younger than us, 56 coaches. Islanders are original 6. Rangers are original 6. Senators have 40 coaches. Not that bad of a number. Who am I missing here? What's another big one? Tampa. Tampa's had 35. That's not a bad number for them. They've had, the Capitals have had 41. Now, that's good on the Capitals. I will give the Capitals that. Right? I will give the Capitals that. Winnipeg Jets were also the Atlanta Thrashers, 17. They've had 32, but I don't know how old they are, so the Ducks have had 33. The Coyotes have had 35, and they're a lot younger than us. So, I mean, that's kind of what I look at. For me, I don't see it the same as you did. Okay, I'm just trying to go over it. I get when you say the last 20 years, and we kind of looked at that. But you have to look at, when you compare, let's look at teams that have come in the league at the same time that we had. Was it 77? Yeah, it might have been. It might have been 80. I thought they bought him in 80. 80 to 83. I don't think they bought him in 77. I thought they only owned him for like 3 years. I thought the Checkerdome was only the Checkerdome for like 3 years, maybe a little more. I don't think it was 77. I think it was after that. Give me a second and I'll look that up. I'm looking here. Here we go. I don't have all of them listed here. Hold on. I'm trying to get there, guys. This is where it helps to have a producer that can do this while I'm talking, but since I don't, I have to do it. I'm looking. Give me a second. Okay, stand by. I'm looking. I'm looking. Paulson, okay, you're right. They did buy him in July 27, 1977. And then they sold him in 83. So you were right there. You were right. 77. So it was 77 to 83. You were right. I was wrong. You never agree with me, bud. You never agree with me. Oh, we got some more likes. Anthony Stewart, Robert Morton, David A.C., along with Kenny Grote, Craig Moz, Jason Nichols, John Hefner, Justin Mullins, and Brad Pond. You all put your thumbs in the air because you actually care, and we really, really appreciate it. Well, the show's coming to a close. We have the game tomorrow night. We'll be on at 6:30 St. Louis time, 2:30 Hawaii Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific Coast time, Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what time we'll be on in Australia, bud. Sorry, man, I don't know that, Kenny. But, you know, it's great to have you guys along. Keep watching, keep rooting for us. And you know what? You're always welcome. If I know who you are and you want to disagree with me, you're always welcome to come on. You always are. I mean, I know people say, and I've heard it, you know, my arrogance is my problem. Right? And that's fine. But here's the difference. I have this platform. This is my platform. I have it. I use it. I voice my opinion. I voice what I think I know. That's what I voice. I don't think I'm going to be all end all. I don't think I'm always right. And I will always invite someone to come on to debate. Always. But one thing, if you're going to call me out in a group, be prepared to come on the show and debate it. Right? I've been called out in groups, and when I defend myself, I've been kicked out of the groups for defending myself. Right? I will always defend myself. Always defend myself. If you want to have a show, go have a show. I'll watch when I can, just like you do. If you don't want to have a show and you don't agree with me, that bad, come on and debate me. I love debate. Debate is great. I absolutely believe it. If we had more real debate in this country, we wouldn't have the issues we had. We really wouldn't. We'd be able to see each other's side and each other's point instead of, I'm right, you're wrong. Period. End of story. I'm right, you're wrong. There's my political conversation for tonight. Well, guys, I'm a little short of an hour tonight, but I think it's. I think I've talked myself out. I want to go get back out on the lift. I've been enjoying it. Had a good day so far. Want to try and get close to double that what I made today. Have a solid day and keep doing that. I can't wait to see you guys all tomorrow, 6:30. Right? All we do is we come on the show. We come on this show. I come on this show and I tell you what I think, what I see, and I try and look at it like this. Full view. That's why I see Pietrangelo leaving differently. That's why I see Schwartz. Schwartz, fuck the Blues. Schwartz absolutely screwed the Blues over. Iran. Right? Everybody, we let Perron walk. We didn't do enough with Perron. No, we did. And Perron sold it differently. And then we all bought it. Right? That interview, the second he would have said, if it hadn't been me, and I guarantee you, this is why I will never be on the radio and never get to talk to hockey players. Because the second he said not formally, I would have asked, well, what did they offer you? I remember at the preseason, the postseason conference, our press conference, Ruby said, or Armstrong said, you know, we're offering you $4 million for 2 years. Did you and your agent negotiate with that? Did you ever call him? Did you try and figure out what was going on, or do you just figure that was it and walk away? I'd have called him out on it. Because when you clarify something, People never listen to the clarification word. I have had so many people tell me Ron said the Blues never offered him a contract. That's not what he said. Remember this. That's not what he said. And it's the same thing with the player who cannot be named. I don't want to play in St. Louis anymore. Never said that. Never said trade me. But that's what they've heard, so that's what they jump on. Right? It's a great example of this. What is one of the greatest movie lines? What is, in the sense, in our lifetimes, in our 50 plus years, what is one of the greatest movie lines ever? I'll tell you what. If I ask 100 people what the most famous line from Empire Strikes Back is, what is it? I'm gonna go on for 3 minutes or more. What is the most famous line from Empire Strikes Back? Come on, I know we got some Star Wars fanatics here. We got some movie buffs. I know we do. Still got 9 of you left. Come on. What is it? Aaron, Luke, I am your father. Any others? Jason's not a Star Wars fan. Well, Jason, you may have just lost me, bud. I mean, it's telling me that you like movies as much as, the DC stuff and then say you don't watch Star Wars? Star Wars blows DC and Marvel out the water. Luke, I'm your father. Or I am your father. That's what everyone thinks that line is. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said, I'm your father. And then Luke said no, and he said, trust your heart, look into your feelings. Trust your feelings. He never said, Luke, I'm your father. Yet, everybody believes that's the line that was said. That is what I'm trying to get at. That's not the line. But that's the line we think. Ron wasn't offered a contract. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. And that's, with that, we're at the 59-minute mark. I will take the last minute to answer one more question if you got it. And then I'm going to go do some Uber/Lyft. What do you got for me? And I won't play that Frozen thing again so I don't get kicked out like I did last time. What do we got? What do we got? Come on. Time's a wasting. Ryan, you're late. And you know what? Your name's not up there, so I'm not going to say it. I looked. I've got 30 seconds left, Ryan. You got 30 seconds to post your name or it's gone. Well, just do what I'm doing this year. I'm not buying a effing thing. Not buying a thing. And Ryan Green got his name in time. Okay, that's it, guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow on the BlueNote Fan Report. Boys! Boys!
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go, Blues! Let's go, Blues! Let's go, Blues!
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.